Was there ever a player at some point in your younger years that like maybe cooked you?
I usually don't think about who I get cooked by.
But it's happened to every player.
No, yeah,
at some-
definitely, for sure. Ashley Owusu was one. I mean, I was like scoring on the other end too.
It
so
kind of offsets the cooking?
Yeah, but I was getting cooked.
What's going on, guys? I'm Speedy, coming at you from Super Bowl 60 at the Gatorade Advanced Hydration System Experience. And today I am joined by WNBA superstar, #1 overall pick, NCAA champion, TikTok dancer, Paige Bueckers. Paige, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Of all of the crazy accolades that I just mentioned, how high is TikTok dancing in that?
That's the lowest. It's the lowest.
No, but you are actually very good at TikTok dances. Is it something that just comes naturally to you? Or?
I have to fight against my genes and have some rhythm, but...
You do so good at fighting those genes, though.
Thank you. It comes out, though, sometimes when I'm like, yeah, I'm like my parents in that regard, but I fought pretty well.
Yeah, when I see the final version that you post, at least, we don't see those genes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I'm only going to give you the good stuff
Yeah,
for the
that
most part.
makes sense. That makes sense. They're telling me you just got here, like, very soon. Is that... Did you
just
fly
flew
in
in this morning from Miami,
Yeah.
out there in Unrivaled, so just got here.
You had a game last night?
Yeah.
Did you win?
No.
Oh, damn. How is like the experience at Unrivaled as opposed to like playing in the W?
It's really fun. It's a lot more physical, obviously. In the W, it's 5-on-5. This is 3-on-3, so the space is shrunk a little bit. There's a lot of more isolation matchups. The pace is faster as well. The court is smaller, but really you're never hidden. And you're always in action, so it's tough. And the physicality, I think, is even more physical than the W, but it's a lot of fun.
It looks fun. It feels almost like a pickup vibe when I watch it. Does it feel like that from your perspective?
Yeah, you're kind of just out there freestyling, just hooping. Like,
there's no plays really, is there?
There's like plays and schemes, but at the end of the day, it's like you're just out there hooping.
Yeah.
For real.
When I think about the trajectory of your career, it seems like you've been a prodigy for years. You won the Gatorade National Player of the Year. How does this feel for you, having known that like this was a dream of yours forever and to have finally realized this dream?
Yeah, it's crazy, super surreal. Like, I grew up at the park and I would bike to the gym and I would always have the Gatorades in my pocket, just like I always was having Gatorade. Like, it was strawberry lemonade was the one that I grew up on. And now to like realize your dreams, live in your dreams, and be able to partner with them and just be a Gatorade athlete along with so many other big names and tremendous athletes in all sports. It's crazy, it's surreal, like I never want to take it for granted, and it's just like the life I live. Sometimes I gotta pinch myself because I'm so blessed.
Yeah. When did you know for a fact that you wanted to go pro?
I would say I was pretty young. I just fell in love right away. Like when I was 5, I didn't know I was gonna go pro, but like that's when I fell in love. When I picked up the ball, and I think it was around like probably 5th or 6th grade where I was like, all right, this is probably something that I want to do for the rest of my life. And I grew up watching the WNBA and grew up watching the Minnesota Lynx was my team. And so wanting to be everything that they were, following in their footsteps, yeah, I would say around 5th or 6th grade.
And when did you realize, yo, I might actually be able to go? Like, I'm actually really good at this. Was there maybe it was like a play, like you hit somebody with something, you was like, oh, I'm good, I'm going.
Yeah, so I was like, always decent in Minnesota and in the Midwest, and I think it was my freshman year of high school, I went to try out for the USA team, and I was like the best of the best, like players in 10th grade, 9th grade, 8th grade, like the best players in the country, top 10 players in the country that I had only seen like through social media were there. And I ended up making the team, and that's when I kind of knew like I belonged and I could really like make a living out of this.
Yeah. What was the motivating factor behind like your like rapid ascension to like getting better? Was it just like the love of the sport? Was there some player that motivated you, or like what was it?
I would say I just really loved it, like, and I loved competing, and I loved getting better, and I loved putting work in. I loved going to the gym. I mean, everything about it just kind of came natural to me. And then obviously growing up watching the Minnesota Lynx right in front of me, they were winning championships. UConn was my dream school, and they were winning championships. Like, to have those aspirations, to have those women who I looked up to and who I wanted to be and aspired to be, there's just motivation all around me for sure.
Was there ever a player at some point in your younger years, not like college or something, that was like maybe older than you, that was like really good, that like maybe cooked you at some point? Maybe you were like, I don't know, a 5th grader and there was somebody who was like in high school already, or someone that you went up against and pick up at some point in your life?
Yeah, I have to think. I usually don't think about who I get cooked by. I usually
But it's happened to every player.
No, yeah,
at some,
definitely, for sure.
Everybody has gotten cooked at some, you know, you probably don't get cooked frequently anymore, but when you were a kid, it must have happened.
Everybody gets cooked. Nobody's safe.
Maybe on the AAU circuit.
Ashley Owusu was one. Our team was playing up a year. She was on the Boo Williams team out of the DMV, and she was a bucket. She was a really tough guard. I just remember Loki getting cooked.
Did it get ugly or?
I mean, I was like scoring on the other end too, so like I wasn't totally like.
It kind of offsets.
Yeah.
The cooking.
Yeah, but I was getting cooked. So there's highlights out there somewhere.
Yeah, well, the people will definitely go search that up now. What is like a thing now that motivates you on the highest level of the WNBA? Is it just like, again, to pursue greatness, or is there like some sort of ulterior motivating factor in your career?
Definitely just the pursuit of greatness and the pursuit of perfection. I'm like a perfectionist in a lot of things, but in basketball specifically, it's impossible to be a perfect player. Like there's going to be turnovers, there's going to be missed shots, there's going to be mistakes on both ends of the floor. So I feel like there's always something that I can be better at. And then just surrounding yourself with like people who make you better. Iron sharpens iron. So in the W, there's so many amazing women athletes, and in Unrivaled, there's so many amazing women athletes, and just to surround yourself with them, it just inspires you to be great, and just to be around people that much who are on the same level as you and better and have experiences and are vets, and it kind of just motivates you to want to be great and do stuff like them.
When people see the WNBA now, they see the glitz, the glam, and like, you know, the bright lights and all of that. But there are moments, I'm sure, that aren't as glamorous, like a day like today where you had a game last night. You have to like fly in first thing in the morning. Like, what is one of the parts about being a professional athlete that's a little tougher than meets the eye?
Yeah, I would say the balance of everything and a lot of these women have families, they have children, so finding to be dedicated to something at the professional level, like you invest so much of your time, your energy, and your effort, so by the time you get home and say you have a family, like you have to invest in your kids and give them the same amount of energy and effort. And I know for a lot of my friends who have kids, like they don't sleep well either, so their kids getting up and they go to bed early. The shoots and the commercial things you have to do when you have partnerships to be able to give back to them. It's the life that we asked for and we prayed for and we worked for, so you don't ever want to be like entitled in a sense or like get complacent and think like, I don't know, that you don't want to do it. So it's a balance of everything. Like time management is huge. But yeah, there's a lot that goes on for sure.
Yeah, you guys, I'm sure the schedule gets kind of hectic at times. You have a very rigorous travel schedule, it seems. You just flew in from Miami. You're flying out first thing on Monday. What do you do for yourself throughout this like rigorous and crazy travel? Do you have like maybe travel hacks or things that you kind of rely on to help get you through it?
I definitely keep melatonin on me, keep my eye mask on me, so like I can sleep anywhere and the light doesn't bother me. And electrolytes, I think, is a huge thing in terms of recovery. Like you're traveling, being on a plane, you get really dehydrated on the plane, so you have to drink even more. Yeah, I'll say that.
You're not that long out of college, right? It was like, feels like just yesterday for a lot of us, but you know, the time goes quick. When you like see clips or highlights or even games of college basketball, do you feel old yet?
I actually kind of do. Like, it's not that bad right now because I still have like college teammates who are playing that I played with. So I'm not that far removed, like you said. But just to be 1 year removed and like see these college athletes, and like I'm starting to get to the age where I was like, you were born in what year? And so that's kind of crazy because I was born in 2001 and everybody's like, you were born in 2001? Like, so it's crazy. I definitely do feel like I'm getting a little old though.
It'll maybe hit you a little more when you actually have no teammates left still playing, and it's like a fresh batch of new players that you don't maybe have a personal relationship. That's when you'll be like, oh, things move fast.
Yeah, life does move extremely fast.
What would you say is the biggest difference between like collegiate level basketball and professional level basketball?
I would definitely say you're playing against grown women, very strong, very physical. The game is different specifically, and there's no defensive 3 seconds. The shot clock is different, and so the pace is a lot different, and the looks that you're getting offensively are different.
You were the first NIL athlete that Gatorade ever had. How did that feel? Did you feel like maybe an added pressure, or was it like a cool opportunity to do that?
It was definitely cool. I think I like being the first because that means there's going to be so many after you. And so NIL came to play. Obviously, like Gatorade and my team got connected. And I was like, Gatorade, like that's crazy. Like that's literally like my childhood. The best athletes are there. It's my favorite drink to drink when I'm playing. So it was just like a dream come true. In a sense, you feel like just like grateful for the opportunity, but you also want like I said, being the first, like you want so many people to come after you and people to be inspired and for you to really use the opportunity to grow and help others. And so it was all of that combined. And so not really added pressure, but just, I said added gratitude.
I like that. What do you think about like the landscape of NIL now and like the athletes in college being able to like earn a living and help change their families' lives?
Yeah, it's crazy how fast it came into play. But to be able to build off of who you are and for like the accessibility, you see a lot of more college athletes in commercials, like on TV, like partnering with amazing brands like Gatorade, and just you get to know them a little bit outside of just who they are as basketball players, and I think that's really cool. And so the opportunity is amazing to build your wealth and just start building, I guess, like investments, equity, like learning more about taxes and having an agent. So to be able to get to have that when you're younger, so you're not just thrown into it when you get into the pros, I think is an added bonus for sure.
I want to talk about like some injuries, just like how have you persevered and like powered through? I imagine that's like a not only physical setback, but a mental one as well. Like how are you fighting through that stuff?
Both parts are hard physically and mentally. Through the long stages of rehab, like stuff gets redundant and you get tired of doing the same things every single day, but it's like the motivation of every single day that passes is a day you get closer to playing the game that you love again. And just to see like all your hard work getting paid off, like you see you're getting stronger, you see you're getting more healthy, you see your investments in your body. And so for me, the physical part was tough, but that was just working hard. And then the mental side was tough too. It makes you realize in life like to never take things for granted. Just waking up in the morning is a blessing in itself. And yeah, it just grows a deeper appreciation for sometimes you're tired, sometimes you don't want to play, sometimes you don't want to work out, sometimes you don't want to practice. But when you're going through that injury process, like you would beg to have a bad day or a bad game. Like it just puts things into perspective and it teaches you a lot about life.
There's so much like G's everywhere in this room, so we might as well talk about Gatorade for a second. I feel like Gatorade has really rolled out the red carpet over the course of the last couple of days here at the Super Bowl 60. We've learned, or at least I've learned so much about hydration and how important hydration is. How important is hydration to you and like your career as an athlete?
It was really important. I think when I was young and I thought I was invincible, I took it for granted. But then once I got to college and my body started getting into the grown woman phase of my life and just how important nutrition is and hydration and getting the right liquids and fluids in your body just to fuel you. I think that's really important and it's something that I didn't really value as much when I was a young kid. So I think the next generation of people should definitely get a head start in that. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be the same athlete. I even had issues with not being properly hydrated and like I would get dizziness, fogginess, and I would just not be as locked in as I could if I was.
You weren't here the last couple of days, but we had the Gatorade Hydration Games, which is like a combine event. And we had like professional athletes here, and then we had a bunch of creators. And you see what the disadvantages of dehydration actually are, you know? And like, maybe people don't think how important it is to stay hydrated, but like when you have the advantage of hydration versus like the disadvantage of dehydration, it's like night and day. So I imagine for someone who is playing at the highest level, how like taxing on your body dehydration could actually be.
Yeah, it's just the sports that we play, basketball, there's like so much precision and like attention to detail that you have. So in the slightest way, if you're not hydrated enough, like your mind is not locked in, like it's game changing. Like it can be one possession where you like see something or you might see something too late, or you're not mentally locked in when your coach is drawing up a play in the huddle. Like it's like little stuff like that you don't even realize, like, wow, like if I was hydrated, I probably would have been more locked in.
Yeah. When you do have like these like slumps, or maybe you're just like not shooting great or whatever, what does like a full reset for you look like? How do you like get through those and like start fresh?
Yeah, I think I've done a lot of mental work to staying present and staying in the moment. I think to frame it in your mind so there's no such thing as a shooting slump. There's only such thing as the next shot. No prior shot affects the next one. But I think too, for me, I like to watch my old highlights back if I'm going through a rough patch, just to remind myself of who I am.
So you'll
So
go on YouTube and like search up like your career high game and shit. It's like,
yeah, like really good games where I was balling, search that up for sure.
let me just remind myself what I'm capable of here. That's
Exactly.
funny. What are you listening to in the headphones before like a big game? I know you're like a gospel heavy person, but what
Yeah.
else you got in the headphones?
Yeah, I go through a routine of like gospel, R&B, and then like hype up music. R&B right now is like SZA, Drake, Victoria Monet, Coco Jones, Summer Walker, Ella Mai just dropped one, Ari Lennox.
Great artist. Sheesh.
Yeah, I go back to the like 90s R&B too.
Even though you're a 2001 baby?
Yeah, I'm an old soul, so I go back there.
And who's your gospel artist that you rock with?
Mostly like Marvin Sapp. I mean, there's a lot.
That's my
Kirk
dog.
Franklin, Marvin Sapp,
The GOATs.
Corin Hawthorne. She's tough. Yeah.
Is there anybody maybe that we wouldn't expect that you listen to?
I would just probably say people wouldn't expect me to listen to like the old school R&B, so maybe like Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, like Brandy, Monica,
Classics.
Fantasia, like all the classics. People probably wouldn't see that in my bag.
Yeah, for sure. I want to talk about style and fashion for a second. We're both super comfortable right now.
I know.
You know, Harper's Bazaar's described your style as preppy street. How would you describe your style?
Yeah, definitely like streetwear. Like I like to be comfortable, but like also like look classy and look presentable. I would say preppy. I like the preppy look too. I love like collared. So like anything collared, I'm probably gonna wear. I like the rugbies, the jerseys, the cardigans, the sweaters, the vests. I love sets. Sets are easy because like you don't have to put it together. You can just get it. Like they just do it for you. So along all of those lines.
Do you have like someone whose style that you look at frequently? Like, yo, I really rock with the way they put their pieces together. Maybe outside of basketball.
I mean, I get a lot of my fashion inspo from basketball players.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
Like who?
I mean, Shay's one that I like, him and Nikhil. But like on the women's side, I would say like Tip Hayes is one, Enrique's one, Cause Style. Yeah, there's a lot. I kind of just dibble and dabble.
Pick and pull
Yeah,
from who
yeah.
you need to. I think it's rare that someone of your skill and magnitude gets humbled on the court. But like in life, who's somebody like who keeps you grounded? You know, maybe it's like a parent or a family member or I don't know, a sibling or something.
Yeah, my little siblings for sure.
Humble you quick?
Yeah, kids are ruthless and they have no filter and they're quick to tell you about yourself. So if I have a bad game, they still love me, but like they'll tell me like, yo, you were tripping, like you didn't have a good game. So they're quick to humble me, but that's why I love them.
You said you grew up on what flavor Gatorade? Strawberry lemonade, you said?
Yeah, that was like the one. Yeah, I always had.
But like, I also hear you're super into Shirley Temples.
Yeah.
So what happened? Gatorade like made you your own flavor?
Yeah, it was like actually surprises after one of the WNBA games. We were at home and it was kind of like just on the press conference table. And I looked at it and I was like, whoa, because it was like Gatorade, it was my face, and it was Shirley Temple flavored. So obviously I had to try it and it was amazing. And it had a really good response and engagement with the people online. So it was a hit for sure.
Yeah. Is that your number one flavor right now? Or what is your number one flavor?
Well, obviously that's got to be my number one. But I love Glacier Cherry, the clear one. That I feel like that's the top tier
Sleeper,
flavor.
but it's
Yeah.
good. My favorite Gatorade flavor, I haven't seen it anymore, but they used to have a flavor called melon that I actually drink a lot when I was growing up.
Really?
Crack.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Mine was like strawberry lemonade, the Glacier Freeze, and
Also, Cool Blue, like,
Cool
is like
Blue.
undefeated.
Cool Blue is like, it's just a solid.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a hot take, but I like the grape flavor.
I like the grape flavor too.
Yeah.
You remember Gatorade Fierce? Were you around
Yeah.
for that era?
Yeah.
I used to like the Gatorade Fierce grape one. That was
Yeah.
fire as well.
Yeah.
All right, well, lastly here, you've accomplished so much. I listed a bunch of the accolades at the start, but you've also achieved so much more than that. I'm wondering, like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, like what are those next goals that you want to accomplish?
I kind of I want to be known as a winner. And for me, want to win WNBA championships, want to win championships in Unrivaled, want to become an Olympian. Like, I think that's the highest level you can represent yourself and represent your country. So those are things that I want to accomplish. And then continue to use basketball as an outlet and a platform to try to help this world become a better place, continue to connect with different people, different communities, keep growing in my faith. Yeah, and just using basketball as a tool. I feel like I've been so blessed and it's a blessing to bless others. So I feel like giving is huge in what I want to keep doing, and just being the best teammate, best human I can be, and continue to get better at basketball too.
Word. Well said. Paige, thank you so much. This has been G Talk fueled by Gatorade here at Super Bowl 60, and we'll see you guys next time.